gonna be real with you all. I've only paid attention to the story of Mortal Kombat starting with the reboot. I know that 9 was the first 3 retold with some fun time travel shenanigans and all the references, but I played the older games as a kid, you freaking bet I did. But the stories went way over my head. So that leaves me with a very fresh, unbiased perspective on this trilogy, of which I'm starting in the middle of, because when have I ever done things in order? I know this game gets a lot of flack for its story, and sometimes rightfully so, but I definitely think it's a little overblown, and let's go over why.
Millions of years ago, Shinnok, one of the Elder Gods.
Why does Johnny Cage sound different? One, we've got a new voice actor for him, but in universe, dude has seen some shit with the invasion of Earthrealm and is a bit older, more gruff and serious, a theme we'll see track with everyone. I love this opening animation, catches everyone up to speed beautifully. And of everyone who survived, Cage is one of the few Earthrealmers left to tell this story.
So Raiden convinced the Elder Gods to enact the Mortal Kombat tournament.
You can really just go into this game without playing 9 at all. It's not advised, but NetherRealm most likely made the story the way they did to really garner mass market appeal. It's a game an entire generation forward, 4 years apart from the last one, and one of the best graphical showcases of the next gen's capabilities at the time. There's a reason everyone played Mortal Kombat X, and it went on to be the top 3 best-selling fighting games. Hey, all the statues keep the previous game's models, something that I know many people weren't pleased about whenever they changed them.
Where he sent his toughest fighters to challenge Raiden's greatest defenders.
Tony? The Avengers? Give me Combat v Marvel now!
Most of Earth's defenders, our friends, were killed.
The absolute best part of 9. Everyone dies, and I love it.
To escape the Netherrealm and resume his war on the Elder Gods.
Now that's pretty sweet, given the lifeless statue glowing eyes to represent his reawakening. In case you forgot you were playing a Mortal Kombat game, let's just remind you right off the bat. God, is the military in these games so abysmally useless. I love it though. It gives us all the red shirts we need for the gore that we so disgustingly desire, and shows why Mortal Kombat was so important because, yeah, guns are nothing against a little magic kung fu. And also, like, NetherRealm demons. Especially NetherRealm demons. Like I was saying, 2 years in a war can change a person. Just take a look at Johnny.
Set her down nice and easy for me.
Don't I always?
If by always you mean not once.
Foreshadowing.
Major?
Though she outranks them, they're all grown up, you can see it all over them, their flirty little eyes.
Where there's an angry former Elder God and his devils waiting for us.
Gods, portals, flying demons.
No need to sugarcoat it, right? Give me a game from the soldier's perspective, especially the ones that had no idea about these other realms until like... Now, Kenshi, one of my favorite characters. And no, it's not because he reminds me of Matt Murdock down to the red glasses. God, we all love Scorpion. Being the face of the franchise, and more importantly, the marketing of this game, NetherRealm knew to give what we wanted right off the bat. The chain, him using his teleport, the sword, the fire. Every aspect of his badassness is right here, not even 5 minutes into the game. And the way he mops these soldiers, I know they're our allies, but sometimes you can't help but cheer for the bad guy, you know?
Get over here!
Also, yeah. Damn, I'm good. His bluster is still there, though. Sadly, the camp that we have from the last game and what the Mortal Kombat franchise does best is a bit lost here in X. For better or worse, it's up to each player, I'm afraid. And to me, I think it's fine. And I'll say now and forever hold my peace. Watching our characters we know so deeply use their abilities in cutscenes and not just cool karate makes us feel cool because that's what we use when we play as them. Do we love cuties? Again, it's really up to your personal tolerance for them. I have zero, especially for a game like this. I want to fight him with all my cool moves, damn it, but it does allow for the stellar choreography team to show off their skills. Because seriously, these are still some of the best hand-to-hand fights in performance capture, and NetherRealm doesn't even make a big deal out of it because their actual combat is so good too. Now, that's always a sight, watching Sub-Zero and Scorpion work together. Sorry, I lied. I gotta win the sauce of Johnny Cage. I just have to! Never change, Cage. No respect for your fallen brother, just you. Cage must have a sixth sense, or he actually gets the same 2D out-of-body view of the fight same as we do. Plus, horror movie Scorpion. Okay, power levels. In Mortal Kombat, they've always been kind of all over the place. And it does feel weird that he was just a trained movie star turned special forces, but like, god powers and all that. Plus, we're kind of out of options for players to defend Earthrealm, and maybe Revenants are weaker than their full selves.
The end is near.
Getting a little ahead of yourself, aren't you?
When played at 1080p, the transitions between the rendered cutscenes and gameplay is almost completely flawless. It makes for such a seamless game experience. 4K is a different story. Okay, gameplay time. This will be a weird one to talk about because I know how hardcore the fighting game community can be. I never really got into any fighting games but Smash Ultimate, which some purists wouldn't even count. But I freaking love Mortal Kombat. There's a reason it has such a wide appeal. Every character has some easy combos and specials that anyone can learn in 2 seconds. They all look so f***ing badass or hot. You pick which one you want. It was just made for game night with friends, and it was so much fun. Being able to teach them in moments, and sometimes they'd be competitive to put up a fight against you. The person who's already played the story and mastered the character too. Sometimes button mashing is the way to go. And you'll notice I'm quite bad at Mortal Kombat, so let's just get it out of the way. Make your jokes. That's fine. But that's why Mortal Kombat X was so perfect for me and probably my favorite of the 3. It offered a lot of different tools to ease in the new players, like the easy fatalities, giving some quick combos in the pause menu, even being able to skip the fight if you wanted. Though I know those are kind of contentious since they were paid, but nonetheless made for a very accessible experience.
Gotta get back to the chopper.
Cage would be the kind of guy that quotes movies or even lines from his own movies and pass them off as his own original cool ones. Can't blame him. I've mused about things with people and used direct lines from my own scripts here to facilitate conversation. I'm no saint.
Sonya, get out of there! Ah! That was unpleasantly cold.
Double entendre. 1 for being like ice, and 2 for an old friend to take a cheap shot in the back.
I liked it better when we fought on the same side.
Just like in normal matches against friends, every fight we get has a post and pre-fight quip. Ooh, Raiden looking real OG right now. Gotta dig up your past if you're gonna deal with it. Action up. Ooh, you know he's a bad dude when he kills his own minions just to drip up his entrance. NetherRealm really wasted no time in just showing everything we wanted to see in this first chapter. No build-up and mass exposition past the opening cutscene, and just throwing just about all the evidence at us.
Smoke is dead. I am an Ninra.
Talk about Quan Chi truly stripping these people of who they are, stripping away who Smoke was, just to be the creature that granted him his powers. The freaking X-rays blew our asses off in the previous game, and then came back in the next looking better than ever, with even more realistic muscles that just make it look so much more brutal.
We're gonna fix you someday.
Keeping a promise. I could be the only one that laughs every time Johnny picks up a gun, right? Love that these gods aren't trying to kill the Revenants, hoping to one day relieve them of their curse. I guess Sindel can eat it with her changes in Mortal Kombat 11, but Raiden didn't know that at the time.
Oh, sorry, ma'am. Didn't see you there.
Insignificant speck of feculent scum!
Gotta love the boomers who aren't up to date with the latest lingo. I just use the word lingo. I guess I'm gonna be out of touch soon enough to. Of course he's gotta show off his Elder God status with the arm behind the back, right? Self-sacrifice attempt. Oh, so we're just gonna fight what we expected to be the final boss right off the bat? If NetherRealm wanted to subvert expectations, this was definitely one way to do it. Especially considering it's the Cage family that defeats Shinnok. Or better put, the power of love or something like that. More on that later. And he's tough still. For such an early fight, NetherRealm definitely expected you to at least have played 9, or just have some background experience. And before you get upset that Cage is the one to take down Shinnok, he doesn't really. Just distracts long enough to pass the amulet off to Raiden, who does the real work. The power of teamwork, more like it?
Enjoy the new digs, Gramps.
Even Johnny recognized the drip.
Why are you smiling?
She called me Johnny.
Now that's just cute as hell. Oh, and we're just gonna jump 25 years and act like the 4-year hype train to Shinnok's war wasn't supposed to be what this game's gonna be about? Okay, yeah, it's definitely a choice. One felt mostly because it was the easiest way to introduce a whole host of new characters, namely the combat kids.
Raiden told me later that I'm descended from some Mediterranean war cult. Bred as warriors for the gods.
And we do get an explanation of why Cassie and Johnny could take Shinnok head on. It's a fighting game story, we don't need to worry about it so hard. Plus, it's cool that the most basic Earthrealmer, aka me and you, could take on an Elder God.
You're beautiful and unique snowflakes.
Tough love.
New places, new faces.
Oh? Speaking of love.
I thought Kotal Khan respected the Reiko Accords.
He does, but he's facing a civil war.
Smooth transition talking about Outworld to bring us into Kotal Khan.
What's the expression? It's not worth the dirt on my shoe.
If you weren't sure which side Devora is on, just take one look at the side of the carriage she is.
The Emperor should not be concerned.
Devora is such a unique new character. Insect-ass bee-looking motherfucker. With her voice sounds like how a hive of many bees might join together to speak.
Accident ahead. This one will clear it.
She always speaks in third person too, showing off her hive-like mind. Her name is also Hebrew for bee. So that's neat. Maybe I was too quick to joke about the effectiveness of guns. Aaron Black makes him look way cooler than any other Special Forces character. Spider-Man and Doc Ock be like,
Looks like we got competition.
something Detroit was possibly inspired by. You can't lose any QTEs. You just get your ass beat and things are business as usual, which I love. Dying to a QTE just kills all the pacing in the game.
You're not worth the dirt on my shoe.
Calling back the villain's line to be cool. My man, Kotal Khan's debut is spicy, being all Yoda and shit. Hope some young kid doesn't come along and beat the Emperor's ass. He looked like a little bitch when he was just looking around his carriage at the fight, but dude could throw down and didn't want to leave Kano out of his sight. Damn, that's gotta be some hot fire to just evaporate all that water. Probably not exactly what happened, but it's cool to think about it like that. Does it feel bad that we can't play as Rain in X? Yeah, but he really is just a bare bones copy paste of Rain from 9 to really give us more fight variety. I just had to wait for the interaction before talking about it. Brought over from Injustice, we've got environmental attacks and movement options that add a nice level of spice and unpredictability to a fight, especially when cornered and using it to get out. Much like Thanos snapping, check out the damage the amulet did to Melina's arm.
What did my emperor see?
A mere cub, grown to be a jaguar.
Giving the daughter of the late Khan respect. Plus, with his people being created off the inspirations of Aztec or Mayan culture, I can't confirm which, but with gods like Xbalanque and Hunupu and the jaguar metaphor, it's all just cool allusions to the culture.
It comes to that, Sub-Zero won't know what hit him.
Johnny's face in the background knowing this is a training exercise.
It is confirmed. 4 intruders.
It is time to entertain our guests.
Love to fake out that Sub-Zero is maybe a bad guy still.
All right, I've got point. You and Jin, that side. Move!
You could tell they aren't cohesive yet. They should have moved the second that order came down.
Damn it, Jin.
Or the more obvious one of Jin directly disobeying orders, whichever one you want.
You demand my cooperation, yet you are cut off, surrounded. What will you do?
Again with the double-sided dialogue.
Cage, you lead this group, but they do not follow. What would your mother do?
I'll win it one last time, because every line that comes from Sub-Zero is him trying to teach these kids. Something we don't get to see in the story is the different fighting styles each character has. Would have loved something to happen between fights that would change the style, but I digress. Having these extra layers of complexity adds wonders to the smorgasbord of options each character has, and finding your favorite was some of the best fun I had in this game. And having it change our appearance too is such a nice touch, like Cryomancer Sub-Zero having icy arms. That's one way to give a training exercise, I suppose. Mortal Kombat stories are the definition of suspending your disbelief for gameplay.
You are not your father. Not yet.
You are not a Jedi yet.
If you know my father, you know me. Thought you and he were friends.
Our histories share a dark chapter.
Hinting towards that Jax might still be alive. I'm not above a little classic MK movie span, and neither are you, and neither is a computer. You'll see about that later.
You're gonna catch hell if you kill us.
Aw, the music gets all slow and heroic right before Sub-Zero reveals the truth.
I see plenty of frozen boot prints on your ass, too.
Come on now. You're all winners in my book.
Like any good dad, handing out participation trophies. And to make us soften up on the new cast, NetherRealm lets us piece them up before having to play as them.
Do not dwell on your encounter with the Lin Kuei, son.
Pretty hard not to.
Apple don't fall far from the tree.
This is cozy.
Lee May's hella being our stand-in for realizing the divorce.
So now I'm from Outworld. State your business.
Aaron Black deserved a chapter in this game. This dude is an edgelord's dream.
So what makes you our leader? You take us to the con, I'll tell him you took us down.
Jin learning to step away from the weight of the shadow of his heritage and humble himself some. Jin saving his cat, the best kind of good guy you can get. In just one addition to Mortal Kombat X, NetherRealm changed so much about the flow of combat. By being able to run and close the distance, things just got a whole lot faster. Everything is much more in your face and makes zoning a lot more impressive thing to pull off. Oh, I really hope that the tiny voice was coming from the giant brood, but this is adorable, giving Iron Giant vibes.
The archives never mentioned symbiotes.
I don't know, I think we're missing a bit of black goo and more teeth. Ooh, look at her honeycomb eyes. Okay, fighting Raiden is always a scary prospect, but we all know that anytime it's like this, he's just going easy on us.
They care only about what is in your heart, not whom your heart desires.
And it's left at that. I had no idea that Jin was gay until doing a little digging. We only care about what is in your story, not what virtue signaling you might desire. Good job, NetherRealm, for not having Jin's character revolve around that fact, because it'd feel pretty out of place in a story about breaking bones and killing gods.
Now kill me. Be done with it.
This was pretty rough to watch. Like, Kotal Khan is a total badass, and he's given no justice here. Like, this is the guy that followed up Shao Kahn? Guess. Kung Jin is related to Kung Lao, so if anyone was going to best him, it would be him. It's like a callback? I don't know, it's kind of flimsy. How about these kids get a show that they can play with the big dogs to make us like them more? Sure, we'll go with that.
You disappear in your work. Never time for me and Cassie.
Ooh, Ooh, even with the fate of the world on their shoulders, this human level stuff still gets to him. Having all this frame data is always so awesome to see. I love Scorpion's updated model from his Mortal Kombat 9 version. Honestly, it's so weird looking back at how graphics have evolved. When Mortal Kombat 9 came out, we thought it all looked so real. Then X came out, and we thought it all looked so real. And then 11 came out, and now Mortal Kombat almost looks like a cartoon game with its graphics and hyper-stylized models. Speaking of that, Mortal Kombat X pulls back on the campy nature of Mortal Kombat 9 and the sexualization of all of its characters. People finally found shirts and pants, and this goes hand in hand with that new tone. Mortal Kombat 9 took things seriously, but there was always this air that NetherRealm knew the kind of game they were making. Not here, though. I would have preferred a more campy, less serious tone, but all the characters have gone through a lot and have aged. It wouldn't be proper for it to stay in this story. God damn it, the choreo in these cutscenes impress so much. Weird, because this is a flashback, but it feels like a callback to Johnny going Super Saiyan on Shinnok over Sonya's injury when Sonya gives Quan Chi the business. This is the first time I've played Mortal Kombat in years, at least 5, and damn does it make me miss those late nights with friends. Playing King of the Hill, watching someone go on a hot streak and cycle through every single one of us, just for it to come down to the wire between the two best players. Having everyone cheer and scream when something awesome happens, talking mad shit when you get comboed by some cheesy strat. And I'm not even talking about when we were kids. It's funny how rosy the past gets, even though things might be objectively better now. There's always that feeling of, take me back. Giving our boy the Johnny special. It's kind of funny how much of a bitch Quan Chi is in X. Like, he's been this badass built up, and then we just slap him around like a bad dog.
And Cassie's gonna meet Uncle Kano.
Gotta love Kano. I think we all do, right? That voice, his bravado. I think I'm starting to understand why girls like bad boys. You best believe I was screaming on my screen and lost my shit when I got him back with that X-ray.
Don't make this another thing you'll regret.
Remember this moment.
But this one retrieves the amulet.
Not alone. This one's coming with.
Ashley Birch is the queen of snark. I hate this. Is Baraka the best Tarkata because his teeth actually close all the way? Ooh, D'Vorah is one of the few who has different colored blood. Straight out of a Coliseum. And leave it to the weird bug lady with no loyalty to do the only player inputted fatality in the game. This is where Mortal Kombat has no competition. It's gore and bloodshed is what put it on the map originally. And then to have great gameplay behind it, it was a done deal that this was going to be a franchise to last. And these are just brutal. You know I love me some center framing. It's obvious every time we're not fighting where the cutscene takes place, but the transitions are just so smooth and the environment's so pretty, you can't help but not care. Yep. This is the woman that took down another god. But there is precedent, so...
That is really disturbing.
Took my line right away from me.
D'Vorah!
But D'Vorah took that as a challenge and used her tummy pussy. D'Vorah is the most scantily clad woman in the game, and I guess they keep to their newfound costume design because, like, that's a bug. Ugh, and her bug-like head movements. Now that's a real power move if I've ever seen one. Look at those teeth, and Melina doesn't even try to bite you at all. Girl broke her spirit. I hate that I know that some of you are into this.
Earthrealm cannot be trusted to protect the amulet. It will remain with me.
Nice little plot twist with a good reason. He's not a bad dude, just wants to be sure that the amulet is in good hands.
Keeping you close to the Outworld throne these many years has proven most fortuitous, D'Vorah.
And another one. And another one. DJ Khaled is loving all these plot twists back to back.
Is there a problem?
2 problems.
Got him!
You here with a mission, sir?
I am.
Trying to get me back in the world?
Trying to save it.
Aw, he's still wearing his SF hat. If I'm not wrong, the service never really leaves you. Not completely.
We expect to hear mission accomplished from him soon.
Nothing better than a smash cut to the exact opposite of the previous scene.
But I still feel like a second-rate Cage.
At least you grew up with people expecting things from you.
Saved Earthrealm. How often do you think that comes up at family gatherings?
He was just a bit overprotective.
I love this scene. Just all these kids trauma bonding. If there would be something to galvanize the team, an easy one, kind of their theme is not living up to their potential. Potential and being suffocated by overwhelming expectations. And after a little therapy, we're starting to make some moves with Takeda's Jedi Mind Murder. Damn, that was smooth. I mean, don't we all wish we could take out our anger on our absentee dads like this sometimes?
Son of a
It was your fault!
Much of the story is pretty simple stuff. You killed my family, I want revenge, I'm sad about it, blah blah blah. But there is no greater stakes and reason to fight than, having her family killed. Like, seriously, everyone in the cast has had some kind of family die. Jin with Lao, Jackie with Jax, kinda. Takedo with his mom, Hanzo's family, Sonya's ex-lover, Raiden with Liu Kang. You throw a rock in this universe and you're bound to hit someone with some tragic D&D-esque backstory.
Okay guys, standard diamond formation. Takedo, you're on point. Jackie, bring up the rear. Kung Jin, air cover.
See? Already working better together.
Think you can handle me alone? You're either brave or foolish.
Don't those go hand in hand? Lasher alone is what made Takedo my main man back when. Those sound effects and that range just felt so damn good. And with how much I loved Kenshi, it was perfect. Glad to still see Armorek's power. Dude is up there as the strongest of all the fighters.
We go to Earthrealm. We will wrest back the amulet from that devil Raiden.
Outworld really just can't not invade Earthrealm. Maybe I was too quick to judge conventional weaponry's place in this world. This firing line does an impressive job holding back the Quan Squad. Oh damn, is the sound of Jack's fist so satisfying. So why does Jack react like this, though his arms are metal? You're telling me with how advanced these are, they wouldn't have some nerve connections? Being able to feel through a prosthetic is something we're striving for, because that feedback is so important. Self-sacrifice attempt again.
Gonna bag me a sorcerer.
Alone?
You'll be killed.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Mortal Kombat, the king of one-liners. With how effective these metal arms are, why doesn't everyone just become a cyborg? Didn't want to confuse people and say, Hanzo. He may be so now, but he'll always be Scorpion in our hearts.
On my command only. Wound. Do not kill.
Good guy Hanzo. Everyone get yourself a friend like Hanzo. Love that we don't use anything but ninjutsu as Hanzo. His Scorpion powers have diminished.
Just like old times.
Man, that's a weird way to bring up Hanzo's past life as a Revenant.
We had abandoned it long before.
Olive T. Branch.
Wait. For what? More treachery. I will have your head!
You can't have a Mortal Kombat game without Sub-Zero and Scorpion duking it out, can you?
She cannot see the wisdom of peace. I will deal with her.
I don't know. Looks like you kind of already have.
I exterminated the Shirai Ryu as promised.
Hey man, thank God I found this convenient recording to end our decades-long feud. Sub-Zero, probably. Hanzo learns the truth. The camera passes Quan Chi from one shoulder to the other, reflecting the shift in Hanzo's perspective.
Scorpion. We can...
That's what you get for using his dead name!
My name is Hanzo Hasashi! You killed my wife. My son.
Prepare to die.
Scorpion, stop!
Oh shit. She's called him Scorpion, showing now he's still marred by that blight. Also that what he's doing is what Scorpion would do, not Hanzo. And how Sonya has learned that vengeance isn't the way after sparing Kano. At least so long as their enemies have value.
Amulet. Get over here!
Badass good, bad good guy. Ew, his little smile knowing his work's complete. Oh nice, only took most of the game to see our big bad.
Quan Chi deceived them, allowed himself to be captured.
Hence why he was so weak compared to the last game.
There will be no surprises from you, Mr. Cage. Bring him.
Why not just kill him outright? Or Raiden later, for that matter. Shinnok's a man of spectacle, an elder god who can't die, who's been alive for eons. Killing them would have been easier, but it's so much more satisfying to watch them suffer first, right? And I like the callback to Cage beating his ass in the opening.
Mom, where's Dad?
Love when things get rough, all military cordiality goes out the window. Me after Cassie Cage defeats Shinnok. It's a small thing, but I love that gods in this world have monochromatic eyes.
Liu Kang and Kung Lao restored. I suppose it is possible.
As long as Quan Chi lives.
Yeah, about that. Along with her blood, also her bones are different. Love the attention to detail. Same thing with Melina. Shinnok's like a horror movie villain. It's like being back at recess in grade school, not knowing that the kid has God and anime on his side. Of course Liu Kang would be the first one to land a hit on Raiden. He would know him the most intimately.
Shao Kahn murdered you.
Something you allowed to happen.
I like how, though they are under a spell, there's some truth in their feelings, especially for Liu Kang with Raiden literally killing him. Flame Fist is absolutely insane. That is all. Another classic. I have a love-hate relationship with all of Devora's body horror. Little was Raiden ready for Maximilian's earthen grasp.
Why not go straight there?
It exists in a different quantum state, slightly out of phase from our reality.
All those books paying off, huh, Jen?
My mother and I lived near a forest a lot like this. Really takes me back.
After we wrap this up, we should go.
Flirting!
We're almost out of time.
Oh, shit, wrong song. Now that's more like it. At least for the comic version of Kotal Khan.
Ermac,
We sense them.
Just like Devora, Ermac's hive mind keeps him talking in the third person. Oh, shit. He's gonna be just like his dad here in a second. It's just like poetry, it rhymes. Like father, like daughter, am I right with those arms?
Better?
Beautiful.
Aww. Nothing like a nail biter in an MK match. It's kind of neat that the combat kids need to take on all of Outworld's finest, then the Netherrealm's revenants, then take down an Elder God. They really have to do it all by the end of this.
Your eyes, so bright. Gonna carve them out!
Call back to her lover's eyeballs that should have burned away. Get enough charge for our main Sub-Zero. Calling back the first mission, have to sneak into a temple. Oh god, I love how Cassie's X-Ray brings in both Johnny and Sonya's signature moves to make hers.
Help Jackie!
No backtalk anymore, taking orders in stride.
They taste your flesh, burrowed deep. Inside you, they will grow.
Ugh. If you've never heard of scabies, I don't recommend you get them, because that's what this is. And we can get it! Cassie's a fast learner, not falling for the special move spam. Glad to see that they aren't even really fighting back, just trying to survive. They aren't no Raiden and badasses because they're all that's left. Shinnok's final form is so badass, straight out of Diablo.
You son of a...
And of course, bookends, right? Even if it's anticlimactic as hell. Structurally, it makes sense that Cassie would be the one to defeat Shinnok.
You cannot hope to survive.
And he meant it. Finally giving us that Shao Kahn beatdown that we always look forward to in these games. Dude hits like a truck and is relentless. Glad to know that even Elder Gods still have their own family jewels. Plus, this is definitely the most painful X-ray just for that.
You got caged.
Double meaning, Cage family takedown, and he's about to be in prison again. Even more self-sacrifice.
And you did a great job with your team, Johnny.
She called him Johnny.
Too long have I allowed Earthrealm to endure the horrors of war. Time and again, we've defeated our enemies.
Oh, shit. Raiden's eyes.
No longer will I simply defend Earthrealm. I will seek out and destroy all who threaten it.
Oh, f yeah. The next big bad is going to be the guy who we all love so much. God damn, I can't wait for him to be the central antagonist in the next game. He's gonna be the central antagonist in the next game, right? Right? Either way, this cliffhanger was way more exciting than the entirety of X's story.
No mercy will be shown. No quarter given.
Raiden hella looked like he forgot his line and just improv throwing at Shinnok's head to shift focus. And finally, Raiden took a page out of Kotal's book. Can't trust anyone with Shinnok, so he's just gonna keep him in his little bag this whole time. Well, at the very least, now Raiden and Liu Kang could be on the same side again. So you might have noticed this is a pretty short one, and that's for 3 reasons. 1, this game is just really short itself. 2, there really isn't too much to say about a fighting game's mechanics without getting into depth about each character, combos, and balance. More people are more qualified to talk about that than me, and I mostly just focus on stories in these videos. And 3, talking about that, the story is just kind of lackluster compared to the others. There isn't too much to chew on. It is a fighting game after all. Stories are already hard enough to create an entire campaign around in these kind of games. And to that credit, it does create a competent enough story to facilitate that gameplay. Mortal Kombat has never been about its stories. They're just entertaining and fun. But it's always just been about getting in a room with some friends and beating each other's ass. And at the end of the day, Mortal Kombat X knocked that out of the park. A whole host of new characters and bringing back the classics made for a fresh new take on the series. And let us not forget the awesome DLC characters in Alien, Predator, Jason, and Leatherface. Like, we just got Freddy Krueger at 9, and then NetherRealm said, let's just go sicko mode. There could have been no better way for NetherRealm to bring Mortal Kombat to the current gen than the way they did with X. 11 sure didn't make the same splash that X did. This is the first time making a video on a fighting game, and it's a little weird considering the video format. I hope you still enjoyed the video, even if it's a little light on the analysis. I expect future fighting game vids to improve. Tell me your favorite co-op experience with the game right below the like button, and remember, drive the speed limit, drink some water, and love one another. Pizza.